everyone, and welcome to the Dancing Bear Enlightenment Academy podcast, Holistic Transformation. Today we have a guest speaker that you all know. We've had her on before, and she's been on our summits, Zsa Zsa Tudos. She's an exoteric knowledge expert, philosopher, author, educator, healer, coach, and soul reader, and lots of fun to talk to. Her philosophy is based on metaphysical observation of the interrelated universe. Okay, I can read. As a study of the unseen soul and cosmic knowledge. It is a philosophy that sets you free, provides answers to the most burning questions of humanity and the great microcosm. Wow. So you're an esoteric knowledge expert, Zsa Zsa. So tell us what's new in the world of esoterica.
Hi people, very nice being here. Thank you very much, Beverly, for inviting me. Oh, I can tell you a lot of fascinating stuff is going on the esoteric field. First of all, I would like to clarify what esoteric means, because many people have very strange ideas about esoterics. So I just have to tell you, esoteric is a Greek word, and it means the highest knowledge possible for an earthling. Earthling is a human being, yeah. So it means that we, of course, we are the blend of a soul and a physical body that is on the top of the evolutionary ladder on Earth, and we have the knowledge through the soul from the universe, so we are connected to the macro and the microcosm as such, very nicely. So that's the idea, and through the actual life what we are having here, the blend, this blend evolves, and the state of evolution depends on the knowledge we can get out of our subconscious. So that is the esoteric knowledge, because the subconscious, well, actually the pineal gland, but doesn't matter now, has the whole knowledge of the universe. So it really depends how eager we are and how conscious we are to get this knowledge and put it into our lives. So that is esoterics. Nothing to do with lighting a candle, or nothing to do with astrology. I am just, well, astrology is in it and we light candles, but it's not what I am talking about. So actually that's what it means. And also, of course, esoteric, because it is the whole universe as such, looks at everything. It looks at the human being as the part of the whole universe, and the universe as the part of the human being. So that's how it is. I usually teach my students about themselves through the universe, because it is easier to understand something that is out of you rather than yourself, who is actually you, and you are a living creature. So we learn through the universe. Talking about esoteric events, wow, we are in a big upheaval at the moment.
Yeah.
And it has been on for about, let's say, I mean, the great upheaval been on about 50 years or so. And it hasn't started now, but it started sort of near to the end of the Pisces era, yeah. Well, I am not going to get into that now, but there is the precession of the equinox, and because it's a long story. However, we just finished the cycle of the precession of the equinox, So we finished one great cycle that is 25,000 odd years. And the other cycle we have finished is the 5 sun ages. The first finished in 2003 when the Uranus energies taken over from Mars, actually, Neptune, sorry, and Pisces. But now we don't talk about Pisces anymore. I am going to tell you the whole story. So Uranus is here, and this is a light energy, a feminine energy, sort of fast energy. So we are actually in these surroundings when we have to keep up with the flow, because the flow is fast and we are not used to that fast energy, and it gives us a lot of trouble. The other thing happened at the end of the 5th sun age. It happened on the 28th of December 2012 when we went through the galactic quantum leap. It really means that the whole galaxy where we are with our solar system evolved into a higher place, and this evolution jerked the whole galaxy as such, and of course we ended up actually, due to this jerk, we ended up in the jurisdiction of the 22 star formation zodiac. But I need to go back to the beginning, well, my beginning, of course, because everything is a beginning of something. We need to go back because there are 2 points here. One point is that Earth was and still getting heavier because of the karma, because of we are a lot of people, because we take advantage of Earth, because she is unable to heal herself with this speed, while we are just sort of removing everything and making her sick. So that's the point here. And because of the weight, Earth is unable to travel on the same ecliptic it used to.
Mm-hmm.
It is physics. Everything what I talk about is physics. So obviously the ecliptic shortened because of that, and well, the ecliptic is the journey around the sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I am just telling you know, because some people might know, some people don't, you know. And because of that, we don't feel the effect of the 12 star formation zodiac any longer, because they are on, or they were on, the old ecliptic 30 degrees away from each other on the ecliptic. So as Earth traveled, they arrived at the courtyard of a certain zodiac and stayed there for a month, and after they went into another one as Earth traveled. So that was the 12 star formation zodiac, as we all know very much and still read all those horoscopes and everything. I have no idea why though, but yeah, we don't like changes. We don't want to change. We think that once we learned something or heard about it, it's not going to change ever. But I tell you something, it is a big secret. Everything is in constant motion. And because everything is in constant motion, it is pretty obvious that everything is in constant change. You cannot deny that.
Yeah.
So You cannot talk about permanence. Permanence doesn't exist in
Yeah.
any way whatsoever.
Right.
There is no permanence in human life, in human understanding, in human nature, nothing whatsoever.
That's a
It's
law
all
of physics.
changeable. Yes.
Yeah.
So, whatever you uh, thought about that, or however you are connected to this permanence, you have to tear yourself away from it because it does not exist. And that is very important, yeah? So, the point is really that um, as the 12 star formation zodiac wasn't in alignment with us, it happened around 50 years back or so. You know, I mean, if you look back into um, uh, our cultural past, I mean, that was the musical, The Hair, where they talked about the power of Aquarius coming in and everything. They talked about it, but nobody really listened. Or they just thought, okay, they say Aquarius because it rhymes, yeah? But the Aquarius doesn't exist any longer, of course, but Uranus exists. Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius,
Hmm.
yeah? Because those days, um, well, yeah, Aquarius was just sort of moving away because that was the time when the 12 star formation zodiac was just moving away from us. And of course, then we had some time without any uh, effects from star formations as such. And then after the quantum leap, we entered into the 22 star formation zodiac. It is very exciting because we have been, I mean, Earth and humanity had been in the jurisdiction of the 22 star formation zodiac before the 12 star formation zodiac. Because the 12 star formation zodiac was in alignment with us for about 5,000 years or so. So when they started up this horoscope system, what we still use, just sort of spied up with all sorts of God understands what. It's very interesting. It's the fourth son of Mars and the second window of God knows what. I don't know. I don't understand it, and I cannot really see any uh, uh, meaning of it really. Sorry, guys. But the point is that this point, you know, we arrived at the 22 star formation again, where we were before the 5,000 years and before the 12 star formation zodiacs. The Sumerians built this horoscope actually long time back at the end of the at the end of the fourth sun age, and it ended in 2012. It started up in 3113 before Common Era. Yeah, so 5125 years, I think it was. But if you want proper numbers, I can give you the proper numbers, but I don't like to carry numbers in my head. So that's how it is. So the idea is that at the moment we still have the ruling planets. The ruling planets, all the ruling planets are in our solar system. So ruling planets are like the moon. Of course, moon, we don't consider moon a planet, but then again, moon is a very strong influence. I mean, as we all know, Earth sort of turns on its axis anti-clockwise, and the axis is tilted by 23.52 degrees, and it is tilted because of the moon. This way, the axis of Earth is perpendicular to the equator of the moon. So that's how strong the moon is. Even though it's much smaller than Earth, but the pulling power of moon is very, very big. So that's the relationship between us and moon. And of course there are the other planets like Mars, of course, and Neptune, and Neptune is not in it. Yeah, Neptune is in it. Sorry. And of course Sagittarius. No, Sagittarius isn't member of the 12 star formation zodiac. Sorry, guys. But I mean the Sun, of course, and Saturn, and Venus, and Mercury, and all those things are in this, and even Pluto. Pluto, that is not considered to be a planet any longer, but I don't pay attention to that because Pluto is amazing and it has such a beautiful power and everything. So it doesn't matter what people decided to call Pluto, we still consider Pluto as a ruling planet of certain times.
It's in my
So-
second house.
Second, I don't
I know.
understand.
It's conjunct Saturn, which is in my first house.
Yes, but I honestly don't understand. I'm not joking, because I mean there are certain descriptions saying that, but yeah, descriptions saying that if your Pluto house is this and that, then this and that, but it's been sort of created like a feeling, you know, and sort of given to the pure astrology that was created 5,000 years back, you know, and sort of to make it more interesting or more elaborate, or I don't know, but they don't serve any purpose whatsoever, because they just don't. It doesn't make sense. We have to understand something, that we live in an ever-changing universe, as I was saying before. And in this ever-changing universe, we always change and always something going on. So that's the point here. And of course, because of that, everything we really need to um, we need to sort of reconsider our knowledge, what we have. And in this universe, everything is interrelated. You cannot just put something into this universe that is not related to anything. And as far as I can see, these houses are not related to anything whatsoever, because the universe is a metaphysical interrelation. So what doesn't fit, you have to discard, and that's it. That's the point. I mean, you cannot just put something there because you have this feeling that, or an idea that you should put it there.
So you don't look at the houses and you don't look at the
I don't even know
signs,
what the houses are.
but you just look at the 22 zodiac planets. What you're saying?
I look at the ruling planets.
Uh-huh.
That is obvious, and then comes the 22 star formation zodiac. The 22 star formation zodiac, or the 22 star formation, they have certain times when they affect Earth. Yeah.
Oh.
And that is something you really need to know. It's not like a month, you know how the 12 star formation zodiac was going, but they come in and out, and they just sort of interfere with everything and sort of stir the energy. And that's what we are having now, a lot of energy that is stirred. So I just tell you a few of the um, members of this 22 star formation zodiac. Actually, all of them are coming from the ancient mythology. And you see, the ancient mythology knew what it was talking about because it was talking about something obvious, although they put a story to it, and of course they made it up that Andromeda was this and that, and of course Ophiuchus was this and that, and whatever it is. But that's the mythology. But then again, the whole idea of those star formations really were true. So we have like Orion, Andromeda, the river of the night, eagle. Don't write them down because I can give it to everybody and to you, and you just
Oh, okay.
I
Thank you.
can give you
Just writing
guys
them down.
I could give you guys a PDF
Okay, cool.
later. Dolphin, Perseus, of course, the charioteer, dragon, and you know the great bear, what we look at always, the
Ursa. Yeah.
yeah, the Ursa Major, yeah, and there is Ursa Minor, of course, but the idea is we always look at only the ladle, you know, the
Yeah. The Dipper.
dipper, that's the one, the dipper, Pegasus, and all that. I mean, it's it's fascinating. So
So can you
very,
get readings using the 22?
the 22 star formation zodiac. Yes, um, what I usually do, because this setting is not really designed for um, everyday events like my neighbor was looking at me today and whatever, and the guy who I have a crush on was winking at me, because it's not important. We are living in the golden era after the 5 sun ages, and we really need to awaken. So that's the idea. So the whole situation is, and this whole 22 star formation zodiac really is designed for that, to ask you questions just as much as give you answers and give you the situation where you are and how to get on from this situation, because we have a lot of choices today. So choices we can make, and the stars are not making choices for you. They give you the situation, and then you have to choose. And if somebody who is reading for you good enough, then he or she would tell you what would be the outcome of your certain choices. And then you can actually choose. I am not saying that there are no unchangeable situations in life, because the universe sometimes drops a big rock on us saying, you have to go through.
Yeah.
So
Been there, done that.
whatever you want to do, doesn't matter what you want to do, you have to really go through that. So then, of course, you would learn that, yeah, then you have to learn what would be the outcome, or why do you have to go through that. Because the universe is not playing games with you. Everything happens for a reason. Everything what you are actually, so you have an answer for your behavior, your thoughts, your understanding, and the universe is just mirroring it up to you. And of course, you are affecting the universe also, so I don't know if the universe is very happy about it or not. But, well, we can ask. And I don't know if you have the answer or not. So that's the idea, really, and everything should be done according to this pattern. I mean, if you talk about tarot reading, nothing is permanent, really. So it's not design, it's not pre-designed, apart from the few sort of unchangeable situations what we are in, but that's life. Sometimes we have to be forced to find ourselves and find the path what we have to be on or should be on, because we cannot see it, or we, you might not be even looking. So the universe says, come on, wake up. And then you have a rock or something. And then you just go on. So that's what happens with the zodiacs. It's very exciting. And of course, there is always a certain picture, because 2-3 of the zodiacs are in alignment with Earth during 1 month period as such. And there are certain dates and days when they actually come in. But we shouldn't look at it as something chiseled in stone, you know, because I mean, if I say on the 15th of January the Corona Borealis is coming in, it might come in on the 14th of January, you know, I mean, it's not like we have these system on Earth and not really corresponding with the universe as such. So, you know, but when you are reading, of course, it might not be the idea of saying on the 15th of January, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, this is going to happen to you. Because again, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, who's 3 o'clock in the afternoon? I mean, we are living on Earth, you know. And I know for myself, I am a traveler. One day I am here, one day I am in a very different time zone. So who knows what is going to happen in January? Who knows? So it's very exciting, actually. And also something else I would really like to tell you guys, and that is very important. Don't look at the sky as a two-dimensional coloring book, because everybody does that. You know, we go up there and we look at the Big Dipper, yeah, we just talked about the Ursa Major here, and of course we say, oh, very nice to see, it's always here, always there for us. First of all, if you move, it's very interesting, you know, in Brazil, let's say, if you are in somewhere near Cidade de Bahia, then you would look at the Big Dipper and it just covers the sky. It is so big, you know.
Wow.
It is just unbelievable. And from here in Europe, I don't know how it is in the United States, but in the Northern Hemisphere, probably it's the same. I mean, it's tiny. Yeah, it's there, but it's not a big deal. I mean, it's amazing, and Orion is just hanging down here and there and whatever it is. So they are really, really very interesting and very different from the Northern Hemisphere. So don't look at the sky as a coloring book. First of all, because it is in motion, constant motion. Secondly, what you see there, it is not the real picture, because the nearest star to us is about 400 light years away. So it was there 400 years ago, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and all of them. And you know, the star formations, we think the star formations are just sitting there, you know, because we see them in 2 dimensions. But some of them, because the universe is 3-dimensional, of course, some of them are even in a different galaxy. So it's really funny to see them together. But because their energy is similar, So they actually stick together. Just like, you know, I am in Europe, Beverly is in the US, and we stick together. So, you know, it is just like that. And, excuse me, and it is very important to understand that too.
Yeah.
So everything is always changing, and look at that. And also, one more sentence that is really very important, that in ancient times there was no astronomy, only astrology. But the astrologers were perfect astronomers. They understood. These are my dogs, if you want to know.
No, those
Not
are
my
my
dog.
dog. That's my
Oh,
dog.
yeah, sorry, because I have. So, so they were perfect astronomers. They understood what was going on in the universe, in the macrocosm. They were perfect, prominent mathematicians and physicians, all together, because that's how you understand what is going on. Otherwise, you don't understand what is going on. And that is very important to understand. So, look at everything, um, put interrelations between events, and if they don't fit, discard them because they are not good enough. Find out what should be on their actual place, because the jigsaw puzzle has to sort of get together at the end, you know.
Yeah.
The whole lot is done.
So tell us how to get hold of your PDF file with the 20.
Um, I haven't put it up yet. To be honest with you, it just came to my mind that I would do it for
Okay.
you. But I
So
might. Do you
when you
think?
have it, let me know and I'll post it underneath the podcast.
Yeah, I will give it to you,
Okay.
Beverly. I just make note of it that I have to do it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you know,
So
and
so this sounds a lot like sidereal or Vedic astrology. So because they're based on the constellations as well, right?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you see, somebody started to call this astrology that and that. There is only one astrology.
Mm,
It's
okay.
no different because you cannot look at the same thing differently because there is only one law between those star formations and Earth and the surroundings. It cannot be different. Um, yeah, I mean, somebody wanted to be sort of different, or somebody, you see, this astrology, the 12 star formation zodiac, what we still sort of embrace, was designed by the Sumerians after somebody else sort of learned something about them, but not the whole lot. So they started to create the missing parts. They sort of created it and put it there. So it became a slightly different astronomy or astrology. And the other one is like healing, you know, or it's like anything. I mean, I've been to China and I traveled through China, and I was amazed how many Egyptian symbols are in China. And the Chinese would say, oh, it's Chinese. But it cannot be because it just cannot be, first of all. Egypt was first. Secondly, it doesn't come, it just doesn't go and correspond with anything in their lives. So it's very funny, you know. Or, I mean, I come from Hungary. Hungarian is the eldest spoken language, and it is very interesting actually how they discovered a group of people in the Andes, nothing to do with Europe, nothing to do with whatever, and another group of people on the Sinai, that is, of course, Egypt, and another group of people in India who spoke Hungarian.
Really?
They spoke ancient Hungarian, but
Huh.
you know, we went through a no. I mean, understandable, but we went through a lot of uh, modernization because people just wanted to get rid of our language actually, and then we were told that okay, we are Finnish and we are this, we are that, we are whatever, and all that stuff. But the idea is, can you imagine? I mean, that's how it is. You know, it is there, so it has to come from the same root somehow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the same root, but obviously they have different words now. They created different words for new things they invented or whatever, you know, because they don't know what we are saying.
Yeah.
So they had it's just really fascinating.
Yeah,
And
it is.
I've seen it in a television program. It
Well,
was
I
a,
could talk to you all day long. It's really great. Do you have any closing words for us?
well, guys, I really think you have to ask questions. Everything is in constant motion. Everything is changing. Learning is a conscious way of understanding yourself and the universe. Learning cannot be unconscious.
Mm. Mm.
The evolution of earthlings is the evolution of the mind, the consciousness.
Mhm.
And because of that, it cannot be done unconscious. So please understand that you have to learn consciously,
Very good.
enroll to certain things and learn. Otherwise, you are not going to get that. And wiki wiki, that's, you know, the awakening song. Very nice talking to you guys.
Yes.
Hope to see you again. Take good care and enjoy your life. Live
Thank
it.
you. Thank you, Zsa Zsa.
My
And
pleasure.
everyone, remember to be the light you want to see in the world.
Yes. Thank you very much.